So the thing about it is like the whole thing about like, oh, break things, move fast, that never actually works. When you do things faster, you lose the essence of it. You boil a pepper, it's like everyone's like, why did I love Dragon's Kiss? The pepper's like not spicy. I usually hate pepper. You're like, well, because I didn't treat the pepper like I hated it. I did it like my great grandma did it, like my grandma did it, like your grandma did it, and your grandma, and probably your grandma too. Which kind of brings me to like how this all started. December 2020, I went to Kenya for a month, and I was out in the village. I was out in Nairobi, and in the middle of the city, they also have the safari. And then they also built this high-speed train that goes over it, straight over to the East Coast. And it was the first time that Sasha started liking coconut water because it was wicked hot. Yes, I'm from Massachusetts, but I like the Yankees. Anyways, moving on. So basically, you know, you're on TikTok, you're on the Reddit, the TikTok, auntie. And everyone's talking about all these obscure facts and all these fields. You're like a walking encyclopedia. Welcome to being neurodivergent. And then you were like, wait a second. They said that their grandma did this, their grandma did that, and then we kind of like say it like a misnomer, like an old wives' tale. And the next thing you know, it is something where some podcast guy's talking about it, and just so you, oh wow, his friend right here conveniently sells supplements, and they start listing all of these things that your grandma was called primitive for. And it doesn't matter where you're from, it's all of our grandmas, all of our great grandmas, all of these things with the spices, with the whatever, and then the science, and then trying to act as if there's a difference between saying prescriptivist and prescriptivist and speaking from your heart, as if there's not like, you can't do like a relational ontology. And so we're gonna roll back to these spices, and as I said, all those ingredients you cook, that's curry, that's... just say what the drinks that we had. Just be like, don't say all of the ingredients.
Well, we had, it was like a hot chocolate.
Yeah, we did Jamaican hot chocolate. How did you feel?
That was heavy. But no, it was warm, it was comforting. That was a cold night, so it made sense. And you said it was Jamaican, but it reminded me of Mexico.
It did.
Yeah.
Because it's some of the same spice clusters. And what was the feeling, the word that you came up with, and she did too? And I was like, yes, that's what it was called.
I don't remember the word.
You do though. I'm just gonna say it, but you're not gonna believe me because it's cozy.
Oh,
cozy, yeah.
Cozy, okay.
It was cozy.
It was.
We were all wanting to feel cozy, and it actually comes up to like they're called thermogenic spices. And they literally make you, like certain things it's like marketing, and then certain things are like real.
See, what's funny about that is people on a natural level associate the food with the feeling it gives them.
But we don't realize the science behind it because it's an old wives' tale.
Yeah, exactly. So, like the chicken soup theory.
Yeah.
If you drink homemade chicken soup when you're sick, you automatically start feeling better.
Oh, well, no, why would you do that? You gotta skim all the fat out and then go to Whole Foods and buy collagen in a bottle. The fat is the collagen.
And they have the company Springbone, which just straight up sells you broth.
And you're just like
so
oh no, Grandma, I'm going to the doctor. I'm not gonna have broth. 5 years later, watches a certain person's podcast. I'm gonna drink broth out of a glass. Anyways,
yeah.
So that's the whole thing of like, okay, so what is professional? What is this? What is that? So bringing it back to like the old world, and being first gen, like my parents obviously wanted me to be a doctor. And so I think in a way it's healing my inner child of not having become a doctor and being like, oh wait, this is practically the same thing. And like not in the way like, and it's called holistic thinking. It's because like you're bringing in that and that. It's all still scientifically valid. I know that that's one of the words that's been like linguistically shielded, like efficient.